Good evening, amazing people. It's Mark Wilkinson here live from London. It's 7:30 p.m. on a Sunday evening. This is where we do the regular slot of Ask Mark Anything. You can ask any questions, put any comments. I can put you on the screen with me. It's all wonderful. I don't know about you guys, but I've had a very interesting week. I would go as far as to say an excellent week. But I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear if you've got questions, if there's anything that you would like to know or understand about Life Remixed. The book is out on February the 23rd, so 3 weeks away or something like that. It's gone so quick. But I'm so looking forward to you reading it. We've had a wonderful week. I had Paul Ross interview me on Talk Sport earlier in the week. That was great. You can listen back on my Mixcloud if you just go to mixcloud.com/Mark Wilkinson official. So go over to my Mixcloud. You can listen to the Paul Ross interview. It's only 15 minutes, but Paul Ross is an excellent professional. Asked me some great questions, has read an advanced copy of the book, and was clearly on a mission to understand some parts of it, which was great. So it was excellent talking with Paul Ross on Talk Sport there. I also would say that yesterday I achieved a dream that I've been thinking about for some time. Visualizing for many years, in all honesty, to be able to work with Equilibria and EColours. It's something that I believe I can take into the corporate environment. And yesterday I completed my first online EColours awareness session with just over 30 Life Remixed clients and friends and business associates and colleagues, and just great people. So absolutely over the moon to have achieved that. With Equilibria EColours and of course with Life Remix coming out as well. And last night I managed to have a DJ mix. Every Saturday night we do an online DJ mix. I had 341. It was 340 and then one person clicked in like just before the end. But it was 341 people. That's what I'm saying. So that was amazing. What a great party we had on Saturday night. So that was awesome. Jay, thank you, mate, for your comment straight away. Would you come onto my podcast? I would absolutely like to talk to you about that, Jay. I'd like to know more about it. I'd like to understand more about your podcast, your mission. But thank you so much for asking. That would be amazing. Let's talk that one through straight after, or certainly on a chat or something in the next couple of days. But thank you, Jay, for asking. That's absolutely awesome. Look, at the end of the day, I'm just putting good vibes out there and having a good life, and I'm hoping that every one of you can have the same. So Ask Mark Anything. First question goes to Jay. Yes, Jay. Thank you, mate. Send me that message and let's have a chat about a few things. So like I said, it's been a really successful week for me. Okay, I haven't been anywhere. I haven't gone out apart from the park and Waitrose. But at the end of the day, look, we're going to make the best of all of this stuff that's going on. I want you to continue to make the best as we try and find a way out of this crazy time, this crazy pandemic. So feel free to put your questions, your comments into the chat, or if you'd like to connect me, I can put you on the screen. Jay, thank you for the extra information, mate. A mental health advocate here in Glasgow. It'd be a pleasure. Brilliant, Jay. Excellent. I've got some wonderful tools and strategies and things we can talk about as well. So yeah, that would be fantastic. Mental health is so important. Mental health reflects upon our body, so we have to get our thinking right. And many times I know I've struggled with that myself in the past. So it would be a pleasure, Jay. I'm also going on to a number of other podcasts and working with a lot of great people. So Jay, thank you. That's amazing. So first couple of questions that have come in. This one's good. I really like this question. It says, how can I make my spouse happy despite a hectic schedule? That's a great question. I would say first and foremost, chapter 13 is coming up of Life Remix. When I do my Life Remix samples on a Tuesday night, we have Life Remix samples, and I go through each chapter every Tuesday. I think we're on chapter 11, so it'll be a couple more weeks until chapter 13. But chapter 13 is based about relationships. And if I said to you that it's not your responsibility to make your spouse happy, some of you might think I've lost my mind a little bit, but it really isn't. It really isn't your job to make anyone else happy. That's not within your power. Your only power is to make yourself happy, and then take that person into a relationship. Or if you're in a relationship, make yourself happy and then share that happiness and that love, because happiness is an inside job. Many people think that happiness happens because of things outside of themselves. It's just not true. That's pleasure. Things outside of you is pleasure, whatever you want to talk about in that respect, but it's pleasurable, isn't it? Going to the football, seeing friends, talking to people, enjoying that kind of stuff. That's what pleasure is. Happiness is an inside job. So it's not your job to make anyone else happy. If you've got a hectic schedule, I'm going to talk a lot in chapter 13 about how you can actually benefit yourself and your partner around understanding the test and the celebration, love languages, quality time. There's so much more you can do to learn and understand and grow together, and that's a great journey and something that I've learned in by making lots of mistakes, to be honest. So look, that's important. And yeah, chapter 13 is coming up. So thank you for that question. I've got another one here from Charlotte. Thank you. Brilliant. So Charlotte was on my EColours call yesterday, or our EColours call yesterday, a 2-hour Zoom call with 30 plus people. It was a fantastic session. I've had some great feedback. Lots of people got some great value, and we will do another one in the next couple of months. But Charlotte, here she is. She says, can you talk a bit more about using EColours with respect to relationships? I.e., how can couples work with EColours to create more harmony? So let's do that one first. So if I use my own personal example, when I first met Emma, probably about 8 years ago, I found her to be quite slow, and she wouldn't make a lot of decisions. She was very calm, which I loved, but there wasn't enough decisions. There wasn't enough momentum. And I had previously done my EColours through Equilibria, who we now work with, which is like the dream come true, or one of the dreams come true, I should say. And I did my EColours, and I asked Emma to do the same. Just because I was interested. I liked her, and I was like, I need to know more about you. So I got her to complete the personality diversity indicator. And what came out was fascinating to both of us, actually, because I shared my premium report. I said, here, have a look. She went through the report, and she found out that I'm a huge socializer, which we call in EColours top colour yellow. So I'm very yellow, massive socializer, surprise, surprise, ex-DJ, party, all that kind of stuff. So I'm a huge socializer. But my green element, which we call the logical, the strategy, the planner, is very, very minimal. It's not great. It's really not great. Learning that about myself actually allowed myself to become a more rounded individual, and then go into a new career after music and DJing. And then I used that to go from bankrupt to a 6-figure salary, which was fabulous. More about that in Life Remix coming out in a couple of weeks. But the point is that Emma did the PDI. And it came out that she was, where I was 40% yellow, she was 40% green. And you could say she completes me, or I complete her, or whatever. But actually, the way that we saw that was that where she is strong, I am not so strong, and vice versa. And as soon as we could see that, we were like, okay, so you play to your strengths and I'll play to mine, and we'll work together in a team. Now, of course, there's 12 different e-color combinations, as we showed yesterday on the call, and we will be doing another one for those of you who missed it and would like to join. But it's about creating harmony in relationships, and it's about going through certain steps. So rather than doubting and resisting and not sure about it, and then maybe making a little bit more of an advance and getting, to a place where perhaps you tolerate your partner, that's no good, and we'll cover that in chapter 13 on relationships. But chapter 13 is, there's a quote in there, I'm sure, that I've put it in there. Certainly I got it from David Dida from The Way of the Superior Man. He says, tolerating her leads to resenting her. And I would say exactly the same thing the other way around. For a feminine perspective, tolerating him will lead to resenting him. And that's not what you're looking for in any relationship. You don't want tolerating each other. You don't want resentment. So you've got to get to a point where you appreciate. And so when I could see him as EColours, I learned to appreciate the fact that she's more steady. She's more steady than me. She's slower than me in that respect, but that's fine. She's slower paced. She's steady. She makes informed decisions. She doesn't rush. And I was like, okay, right, now I can understand that about her. And she can look at my EColours, big, yellow, optimist, enthusiastic, etc., etc. But she could see that and go, okay, now I understand a bit more about my boyfriend as it was at the time. So that was really important. And I think it's a journey. If you can go on it together, so I urge partners to both do their EColours and actually look at the results and then actually sit down together and understand more about each other, because there are potential limiters in there, and our potential limiters are things that could make us unsuccessful or get unintentional consequences or put us in a place where we're not happy. And that's not what it's about. We all got to be happy. Yeah, Life Remix, come on. So I hope that helps, Charlotte, on that question. And how do you handle it when someone you love gets very down about the news and world events, i.e. how do you listen without absorbing the pain? That's a great question. That's a really great question. How do you handle it when someone you love gets very down about the news and world events? Well, the very first thing I would suggest is for them to go on a negativity fast. Okay? Go on a negativity fast. I recommend that. If they want to come and talk to me, they can come and talk to me. But switch the news off. Now, some people say, oh, but I need to be informed. Yes, you need to be informed. You do not need to be inundated. You do not need to be inundated with tons and tons and tons of information. It's just the same thing over and over most of the time. I spend a couple of minutes in the morning, a couple of minutes in the evening, have a quick look at the news. What's the latest? Yeah, okay, that's fine. Then I get on with my stuff. The problem with this kind of stuff, when you get into about news and world events and all this kind of other stuff, it's not stuff that you can actually change right here, right now, which is why I say about the purpose of life is a life of purpose. You must get your purpose ready to go. When your purpose is ready to go, then the how just takes care of itself, because you're living a life of purpose. Things just start to open up, doors start to open as they have done, and I'm showing you, and I will continue to show you all over the next 30, 40, 50 years if I'm lucky enough. So all I would say is that I think it's really, really important to love that person. And for me, love is total acceptance. So you must accept they are who they are. I think that's very, very important. That's the first step of love from my perspective, total acceptance. And then start to guide, coach, help a little bit, ask them if they're getting overwhelmed with things that they're not coping very well with, then just switch the news off for the time being. You don't need to know it all the time. Yeah. And when you start to do that, I can go back to the news and watch it now because I'm not emotionally attached to it. If you're emotionally attached to things, they can bring you down. And it's very, very important that you don't allow that to happen, that you actually can be free of that. And then without the emotional attachment, be able to look at it and say, okay, well, objectively, I can understand what's going on. So that's really important. I hope that helps, Charlotte. And thank you so much for your input. And absolutely brilliant yesterday. I loved you guys all in the blue room, all agreeing with each other. Loads of empathy. It was fantastic. So great stuff. Thank you very much for that. And Lewis has jumped in. Yeah, brilliant. Look at that. Great session yesterday. Well done. Golden buzzer, Lewis. Yeah, okay. Is that happy days? I got the golden buzzer. So yes, brilliant. I loved it, and it was absolutely fantastic. Good evening, Matthew. Fantastic to have you here. And whoever that is, big up the Blues. Yeah, okay. That's fantastic. Here's Matt. Don't be a victim of negative self-talk. Remember, you are listening. A fantastic quote from Bob Proctor. And Bob, thank you, Matt. Bob has provided one of the endorsements to Life Remixed. So I'll just read you Bob's endorsement for Life Remixed. Says, for anyone looking for hope, this book offers an abundance of it. Bob Proctor, best-selling author of You Were Born Rich and one of the stars of The Secret, of course. What an accolade to get from Bob. I'm absolutely over the moon with that. We've got great endorsements. I can't wait for you to read them. Danny Rampley, Kevin Green, Lewis Senior says Life Remixed documents an incredible amount of self-awareness, personal development and determination. Thank you, Lewis. That means a lot, mate. I really appreciate that. And Marcy Shimoff, who was also in The Secret, says Mark Wilkinson is a great embodiment of the teachings in The Secret. And the list goes on. Peggy McCall, Brandon Block, Lorraine Hahn from CNN, Judy O'Byrne, my brother. Listen to what my brother said. He says it's a cross between an episode of The In-Betweeners and a Tony Robbins seminar. Oh, my brother. He's a funny boy. Right. Anyway, yeah, absolutely. Yes. Don't be a victim of negative self-talk. Remember, you are listening. That is absolutely right. And what he's talking about there is the words that are coming out of your mouth are the thoughts that you've said, but they're then impacting on your subconscious mind. So they're impacting into your heart, and then they become your actions. So why would you do that? You know, it's almost like self-harm. Don't do it. You know, talk in a more positive way. Think about things. You know, how can I find this? How can I reframe it? What can I do with it? You know, because I promise you, every challenge has an opportunity. So brilliant, Matt. I love that quote, and keep studying those, mate, because yeah, that's bang on. So I'm over the moon with that. So I've got another question here. Let's see. Here it is. What are some of the goal-setting tips you would give to a young entrepreneur? I love that question. At the end of the day, I would say that being a young entrepreneur can be a challenge. Certainly, as a DJ, I didn't work for anyone else for 20 years, apart from club promoters. And there were tough times in there. There was times when I struggled. There was times when I wasn't really sure how I would survive from month to month half the time. But I would say think big. As far as an entrepreneur, you've got to think big. You've got to set big goals. You must understand your purpose. So that's massive. Understand why you get out of bed every day. And I'll keep banging on about it until you guys start to share like what your purpose is. But mine is joy, knowledge, inspire, create. And that's massive. That's massive. That can go across multiple businesses, multiple ways of life. It stretches across so many places because it's so huge. Because it means that whatever I do every day, as long as I'm doing joy, knowledge, inspire, create, I'm buzzing. I'm living on purpose. So it's so important. So think big. You don't need to know how. You just need to dream it and go for it. And then I don't want to say but, because but negates what you say before it. I would say think big. You don't need to know how, and find the way. Get the support. Be grateful. If you're more grateful you are, the more you can appreciate other people. I'm not great at the detail. I've already told you, you know, tiny amount of green in my personality diversity from EColours, tiny amount of green. Emma's brilliant at it. Emma's absolutely fantastic at it. So that's great. So then we support each other, you know. You know, if you've got your accountants will probably be, I'm not allowed to guess, but your accountants might be top color green people who are very, very detailed. You know, you don't know. But the point is that as part of that process, find a support network. In all honesty, with Life Remixed at the moment, I've probably got about 12 people working with me at the moment on this. Minimum of 12, I would say, maybe more. And all the contributors and everything else. And we're probably talking about like 30, 40 people all working on Life Remixed, all helping me towards my goal of becoming an international bestseller. I couldn't be more grateful. I couldn't be more grateful. It is incredible. So remember those things. Think big, be grateful, surround yourself with the right people. And as a young entrepreneur as well, I would say masterminding. So get around a team of people, have a mastermind group that you can go to, right? Once every week, once every couple of weeks, maybe 5 of you, 6 of you, no more than 10, because otherwise it gets unwieldy. But actually getting a mastermind group and actually start to bounce ideas around. Great ideas, great minds discuss ideas. Great minds discuss ideas, okay? How many people do you know that spend a lot of their time talking about other people? Well, he said, she said, guess what, this, that. It's a waste of time. Yeah, great minds think about ideas. So please come up with ideas and then we'll get working on them, all right? So that's, I hope that's helpful. That was the goal setting tips for a young entrepreneur. And then what practical, this is the last question I've got. If you guys have got any more questions for this evening as well, you just pop them into the chat box. Feel free. I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you've got this evening, of course. Third question I've got here tonight says, what practical thing can I do right now to get through a slump? What practical things can I do right now to get through a slump? So I've got a few. And of course, at the moment, people might be suffering from, there's a number of pain points that are out there in the world at the moment. It could be anxiety, doubt, fear, and worry. It could be depression, which is obviously a medical condition, but it could be disease as well, which again is another medical condition. It could be, divorces. It could be money, career change. It could be any number of things that are going on out there at the moment for people. And, I've been through most of them. So I understand a lot about how to recover. And again, it's all in there. Yeah. So, but what practical things can I do right now to get through a slump? One of the things I would say is, breathe deep. Yeah. Breathe deep. It's a great way to describe it is you can go 2 weeks without food in your body. You can go 2 days without water in your body. You can go 2 minutes without oxygen in your body. So by that rationale, what's the most important thing to have in your body every single day? Oxygen. So let's make sure we've got lots of oxygen in our body. So do a little bit of exercise, breathe, get moving. It's really, really important. Okay. Drink water. I've heard it described that the planet is 70% water. Your body is 70% water. So surely by that rationale, you should be having 70% water-based diet. Think about a cucumber. You can almost wring it out. Yeah. Think about spinach. Put a lot. I'm not saying you have to be vegetarian, but like if you're going to have a bit of steak or a potato or whatever, surround it with lots of water-based foods. Your body will thank you for it. Get into a lot of positive self-talk. Yeah, like Matt said earlier. What did Matt say? Yeah, don't be a victim of negative self-talk. Remember that you are listening. Get into positive self-talk. Get into affirmations. Get into I am happy, healthy, and wealthy. I am financially free. I bring love. I bring joy. I'm a good person. I do great things. Get into that. Get into that. If you're going to get into anything, get into that. Yeah, and it's about training. You've got to keep training yourself because we are sometimes surrounded in a world of negativity. Switch off the media if it's getting too much. Very, very important to get yourself in that way and keep those positive self-talk and those positive affirmations going. Okay. And the last thing I would say around that is balance. Is finding balance in your life. Find that balance in your life. If you're going through a bit of a slump, bit of exercise, lots of water, some healthy food, a purpose to work for, something to work towards. I mean, I was unhappy, sick and broke 12 years ago, recovering from an incurable disease and with a bankruptcy, living in my mum's spare room. I'm now in a very, very comfortable position. Let's put it that way. And it's not an accident. It's not an accident. I just followed these instructions. They're pretty simple, but at the end of the day, they're simple to understand, but are they easy to do? Sometimes not. Some people can really, really struggle with them. So it's about getting into that habit. Yeah. Positive self-talk is another really, really big habit. Charlotte, this quote was in the EColours report, and it's so spot on for what you just said about the team behind Life Remix. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Exactly right. How many people do you know that are trying to go it alone? Like, I'm best, I know best, a huge ego. I'm like, I'm going. I tried it that way for 20 years. DJ, ego monster, aren't I great? Look at me playing all my records and every girls love me. Yeah, brilliant. All that. I did all that. Yeah. And it was a massive mistake. It was a huge mistake. I wasn't particularly great at teams. I tried to build up teams and I had record production teams when we did Satellite of Love, for instance. That was Dab Hands, me, Leo Elstob and Richard Sell. So we did all that stuff together, but ultimately it was more about me and my ego. And I was going fast, so I went alone. But if you want to go far, go together. We are stronger together. Every single one of us, every single one of you is listening to me right now. Every single one of you who's out there, who understands what we're doing with Life Remix, with EColours, with my Hillman Associates, the property companies, the great stuff I do with Kevin Green and everything else. If you understand all of this, you're much more supported. And I know, Charlotte, of course, you're writing you've written your children's books, and you're understanding about how to, get more out into the world, because that's the way you're going to make your children's book successful, and that's the way you're going to reach a lot of people. So, all power to you, Charlotte. But that's a beauty to, it's a beauty to share. Lucy says you taught me that. Thank you, Lucy. I hope you're good down there on the sunny south coast. I'm sure we're all waiting for it to warm up a little bit, aren't we? But here we go. Here's another one from Dave. Look, it's a question from Dave. How do you manage to stay focused on the teachings from Life Remix? Is you've been doing it so long it's second nature, or do you keep notes everywhere and have a daily to-do list? And how do you stay so focused? Brilliant. Thank you, Dave. It's a brilliant question. As a top color yellow, and that we were on the call yesterday, Dave, as a top color yellow, 40% yellow in EColours, it's really hard for me to focus. I can be a bit everywhere. I've had to work on it. I've had to really work on it as a potential limiter to say, right, okay. And Bob Proctor got me with a beauty. Bob Proctor said, put a little dot on the wall next to you. And at certain points during the day, just stop and just focus on the dot. Now, I'm not going to do that for you now. But my point is that, you know, I taught myself to focus. So at each point during the day, I can focus exactly on what I'm doing. So right now I'm with you, totally focused on it. Yeah. Then the next thing, I'm writing a story for Bob Proctor's website, totally focused on that. And that's how it works. That's how it goes. So when you say, is it second nature? Yes, it's become second nature because I've been doing it for 12 years. Probably longer, actually, probably about 17 years. It was 33 when I first collapsed with the dis-ease in my body, and I'm now 50. So that's 17 years of learning and studying and starting to just scratch the surface of things. But the way your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions work is what you think about is what you bring about. You feel about it. You feel good about it. So you attach the feelings to the thoughts. It all goes together, and then you act on it. And it becomes second nature. You end up programming. We've got a subconscious mind. Most people don't know about it that much. They don't teach about it in school or anything like that. But actually, the subconscious mind is something that's so powerful. It's generally programmed by other people from when we're children. And we don't understand it. And then we just go out and live our lives. And that's why our lives can often be, you know, repeating a lot of our parents' mistakes or you know, history repeating, that kind of stuff. So really, really important that we reprogram our own subconscious minds with the things that we would like to be, do, and have. And that's all I've been doing for the last 16, 17 years. The collapse was the moment for me to go, hang on a minute, this isn't working. Why isn't this working? And it's not a blame game. It's not mum and dad's fault. It's not school teachers' fault. It's not, you know, young friends' fault or anything like that. It's about looking at it objectively and going, okay, I don't like this result, so I'm going to copy someone else who's getting a better result. And that is all I've done. And it works. It works so well. I can't believe it. Well, I can believe it. That's the thing. I can believe it. I do believe it. I do understand it because I've worked at it. And it's about work, you know. It's tough to do. It takes a bit of challenging. But I tell you what, the investment in yourself, the time, the money, the coaching, everything else, the investment, whatever you decide to invest in yourselves, any of you, it's worth it because you will find a better life than you're living right now. And I'm just saying that because I do it daily. I'm looking for the better life. I'm looking for the next step, the next step, the next step. Yeah. When I'm 75, 80, 90, sitting on the beach, you know, thinking, like, looking back on my life, I'm going to be like, that was awesome. That was amazing. I did everything I possibly could. And I want you guys to have the same. I really do. So I hope that helps, Dave. I'm looking forward to catching up with you in the week. Matt says, what led you to understand your purpose? Well, constant questioning. Tony Robbins says, ask yourself better questions, you'll get better answers. So when people kept asking me, what's your purpose? What's your purpose? I'm like, I don't know. Just play a few tunes. That's me, you know. Yeah, all right. Resident DJ at Ministry of Sound and traveling around the world as well, right? But okay. I didn't understand. I didn't know. I really didn't know. And I actually gave a talk to about 30 students. One of my friends invited me up to Manchester before a gig. So I was playing that night. He invited me to Manchester Midi School. Ben from Paper Recordings, top fella, invited me to talk to about 30 students about my journey in music and how I'd, you know, worked for that long and had the top 10 hit, you know, and that kind of stuff. And I gave the talk, and the students at the end, about 10 of them hung back and just went, that was amazing. Thank you so much. And I got the same feeling from giving that talk and those 10 students coming to thank me as I did from DJing to like 1,000 people at Ministry of Sound. Exactly the same feeling. And I was like, oh, right. Got it. So I brought joy to these students because they're loving it. Yeah. And then I brought joy to myself because I feel good, because they feel good. And it's exactly the same as DJ. I play records. We had 341 people online last night, you know, listening to the music and having a great party in their own houses. I brought joy to that 341 people. And guess what? I felt amazing. That's just how it works. So that was purpose number one. But for me, then joy just wasn't enough. It had to be more to it. And that's when I got a bit deeper around knowledge and inspiration and creation. And by the way, I don't own those 4 words. At the end of the day, if you want to have joy, knowledge, inspire, create as your purpose, then do it. Just do it. Just do what you want to do. Lucy says, you taught me that as well. Yeah, exactly right, Lucy. That's the dot, right? Focus. Training. You want to get a big muscle, you got to train. That's what it's about. And thank you, Lucy. I know you're tagging people in. That's brilliant. Hi, Mark. Mark Schofield's here. Thanks, Mark. Great to have you here. And look at that. That's nice. Look, your set was incredibly uplifting last night. Thank you very much. If you want your name on the screen with me, you can either just type it or you can go to, I think, StreamYard.com/Facebook, and you have to authorize Facebook. But I love having you all on the screen with me here. I loved DJing last night for everyone. We're going to keep doing it. We're just going to keep doing every Saturday and then see where it leads us. But just being able to stream music and DJing, and I can do it here from the studio. We do it from about 7:45 to about 10:45 last night. It's about 3 hours in total. But that's 341 more people who understood a bit more about the journey, about Life Remixed, about great music. I want to uplift you. I want to bring the joy. That's my purpose, is to bring the joy. And I'll give you a little example before I go, actually, this evening. I'll give you a little example. I'm doing all right at the moment. The book's coming out. It's going well. Everything's cool. I've got a few haters online. I've got a few haters sending me messages and just all kinds of random stuff ends up on my posts. I'm joyful about that as well, because at the end of the day, I'm obviously touching a nerve, or I'm getting people moving. I'm getting people moving on social media. So many of you guys interacting with me because you know me and you know my purpose, you know my mission, and you understand it. But there's people out there that don't. And if they see something, then they're going to start hating on me because they don't agree with it. Well, okay, fine. That's fine. I don't mind. Honestly, I've learned to just be joyful. I've learned to just be joyful. They can hate on me all they want, but I'm just saying it's okay. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. Opinions are like something that everyone's got. Yeah. So Lucy's like, no way. Yeah, it's fine, Lucy. It's fine. Don't worry. It's you think about every successful person. You think about people that lead countries. Half the country hates them, and the other half think they're amazing. It's fine. It's fine. When's the next one? I think you must be talking about the DJ mix. So thank you for that. Every Saturday night, 7:45 ish until 10:45 ish. We'll be online every single Saturday evening, just because we absolutely love doing it for you. Here we go. I think this is Julia. Totally agree. Yes, thank you so much. So every Saturday night, we are working. We're working it, but it's not really work when you love doing something. When you love doing something, it's just a passion. It's a joy. It's a purpose. It's a love. It's a joy. I mean, I do these talks every Sunday evening. I do these talks every Sunday evening at 7:30 p.m. Tomorrow morning, I'll be back at 8 a.m. to do Monday motivation. So come on, fired up, ready to go. Monday morning, let's hit it. Yeah, let's get it moving. So that's Monday morning, 8 a.m. Tuesday night is Life Remix Samples. So I think it's chapter 11 this week. And then Wednesday morning, I do Well Done Wednesday. So I'd like to share with you some updates and where we are on the hump day over the top of the week. And then Wednesday evening this week is a very special one. I've got the band. I've got the band back together. Amazing. I've got the band back together. A few of the boys from Flying Records I used to work with when I was like 20 to 25. So we've got Rocky. Many of you know Rocky is my DJ partner from Problem Kids and Express 2, where he had massive hits, of course. So Rocky will be joining me on Wednesday evening, along with Lofty and Keith, little Keithy Matthews. He's not little anymore. I don't know why I said that. But Keithy Matthews is going to be joining us on Wednesday evening as well. So going to be live at 7:30 p.m. That promises to be a riot. I mean, we're doing it live as well, so there's no editing. So I'll be like, right, okay. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. You're going to hear about all the crazy stuff that we got up to. So, yeah, that's lovely. Getting loads of love for last night's DJ mix. Look, guys, I'm here. I'm here to help. You know that. We can all, lots of people work with opinions. It's okay. And a request for next Saturday, Sterling Void. It's all right. What a great tune. It's going to be all right. I promise you that. Whatever happens, it's going to be all right. So, yes, I shall dig that out for you. I think that might be Nikki. And Nikki, by the way, you were brilliant last night. You know your tunes as well. So So that was good. That was really, really good. Oh, look, there's another one. Thank you, Guy. What's Guy say? Smashing set. Look forward to Wednesday, a midweek treat. Exactly right, mate. That's right. Bring in the joy. That's it. That's what we're doing. Bring in the joy. Let's all enjoy ourselves. Let's make the best of a bad situation. Life Remix coming out, obviously, February the 23rd. The four of us getting the band back together Wednesday evening for a bit of a riot. That'll be fun. But join me tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Monday Motivation. I'll have some good stuff for you. I'm going to get back to writing this letter, I'm doing this letter that's going to go out to Bob Proctor's database, which is huge. If you know the secret, it touched the lives of 300 million plus people. Bob Proctor, one of the stars of it, Marcy Shimoff, one of the stars of it. They both endorsed Life Remixed. Anything is possible, people. I promise you, anything is possible. And I've got nothing but gratitude and love for every one of you. Chris has jumped on late. Hi, Chris. That is a beautiful picture, Chris. I love that. I love that. Look, listen, guys, thank you all so much. I want you to have a wonderful Sunday evening. I've got nothing but love for you. You can watch all of these back wherever you want. Join the schedule throughout the week. Monday morning, 8 a.m. I will return. I'll be back with some Monday motivation. Big, big love. Love you all. See ya.